What is up, everybody? Today we are back with another Digimon Daily. We are currently on our quest for Machinedramon, and we actually have Digivolved all the way up into DarkTyrannomon. Now, if you guys remember, I actually wasn't shooting for DarkTyrannomon. I was actually shooting to get a Digivice. I was shooting to get Digivice, but I think I used a little bit too much effort. This is the flowchart that we're actually trying to follow here. Let's zoom out just a little bit and kind of go over it. We actually had Godzilla right here, and Godzilla was supposed to go into Digimon. You can see right there, we had the same amount of care mistakes required for each of them, but I think we used a couple too many trainings, and so I ended up with a DarkTyrannomon. And the good news is DarkTyrannomon can still go into the Metal Tyrannomon that's needed to go into Machinedramon, but the bad news is I don't actually have a card for the I don't have a card for that one. The whole plan was to go like Gazamon, you have like the unevolved in training stages, into like the Digimon, into the Metal Tyrannomon, and then finally into the Machinedramon. So my aesthetics got thrown off just a little bit, but I think that's going to be fine. I wish I had a DarkTyrannomon card. Those actually aren't very popular. You'd be surprised to see there's actually not that many like DarkTyrannomon cards, and there haven't been any published like recently, so it's hard to find some of those. But yeah, let's just get right into this. So basically what we need to do to get to Metal Tyrannomon is going to be get a bunch of actual wins in like the Coliseum done. So I think we have to get like 12 to 15 wins with, let me just double check here, 12 to 15 victories with I think a pretty high win rate. So what we're gonna do is just go right into this, do some singles battles, and play some games here. So this is gonna be pretty easy, starting basically at the beginning. I think the only one that I've actually defeated is Wormmon, and I still really like playing like the in-game mode Coliseum. I think it's a lot of fun. I love the noises, and farming rookies is actually quite nice. So just got to keep track of what we're going for here. And that's the first victory. I could actually even show you guys, if I wanted to, the Coliseum battle list, which we can actually pull up right here. So you can see we started with the Kunamon here. We just beat Patamon, or sorry, Palmon, sorry. And you can see we got to get all the way down to like, into some of the champions. So that's not going to be too hard. We're going to keep at it and get this done today. And this is your reminder to actually let me know some of the devices you're working on. If you're excited for, the potential like new devices coming out relatively soon. I know we have the, what is it, the D3 color evolution. I know they also announced like a re-release of the color versions of these 20th anniversaries. I know Zenon's doing a pre-order for that, and I also know there's a new Tamagotchi coming out relatively soon. So there's a bunch of cool VPET stuff happening, this year, and I'm all for it. I'm actually thinking about getting one of those Tamagotchi Paradises as well. Please think about letting me know if you're at all interested in seeing content based around that. And let's just play some more games. I will say, I really, really like this sprite. I didn't think I was going to like DarkTyrannomon as much, but he really reminds me of like a Reptar when he opens his mouth like that. And you can actually like really tell that, again, all of these V5 VPETs were based off of like the Godzilla line for that collab device. And speaking of the Godzilla collab device, I cannot wait for that to actually come out a little bit later this year. I think I'm probably going to use the black shell more than the white shell, but that being said, like, I really just cannot wait for them. Yeah, Tyrannomon got hit, never lucky. Not like this DarkTyrannomon. Oh, there we go. That's the weak attack, though, so as long as we're blocking their strong attack here, we should be able to close it out. There we go. Got him. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy DarkTyrannomon. Getting those free wins out here. And I actually, if you guys like these sort of Coliseum battles and you want to see a full run of all 100 bosses in the Coliseum with one Digimon. I actually did that, I think, last year. I used Slayerdramon and beat every single boss in like one go. It was actually a really, really cool challenge. I think I might do it again. I think I might try and do it with some of the, like a little bit of a weaker Digimon and make it a little bit more challenging, because, you get basically like 3/4 of them done for free just by using like a decent mega. But I wonder if there's some like ultimates that might be able to actually complete the challenge. So I'm curious. Let's just max this out. Easy peasy. I know there's like different like lines and thresholds you can do to get critical hits. I know there's the doubles mode too. We're just gonna do this one. I think it's pretty standard here. But this is the sort of stuff that needs to get done every single day if you play a lot of Digimon. So yeah, one thing about Digivolving here, if you want to hit the right levels, you also still have to do it within like a certain amount of time of them, you know, being in this stage. Otherwise, like, they won't be able to Digivolve either. So you gotta get these battles done relatively soon. I think we're on Biomon right now. I always like the sort of like pepper breath animation sprites that you see like the Angemon and the Biomons use. I think Patamon also uses it as well. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, here we go. So when I was a kid, this is in the 90s, right? We used to take these things into school, right? And they were totally banned at school, but we all used them at the at recess, right? And what all of us did as kids is like, they would kind of like, you know, if a teacher saw it in your pocket, you know, they'd confiscate or something, or if they caught you with it in class, they'd confiscate it, right? So what a lot of us did is we put them at the bottom of our shoes, and I don't know how they didn't get like crushed screens or like anything weird happened to them, but we all got away with it for, you know, as long as we were interested in using these things for. I don't think anyone really got caught like putting them in their shoes in between like recess and stuff like that. It was always so funny that you put them in your shoes and you're just walking like very gently, like slightly on your tippy toes to go out to recess, because you gotta like get this thing into school. It's funny nowadays, like kids have like all their phones and other stuff like that. I wonder, I don't even know like if that stuff like allowed at school, or how teachers can even like stop kids from using phones in class. But I remember thinking to myself, like, how am I gonna like feed this thing and wake it up and do all that stuff? Because we didn't have like the internet back then, right? So we didn't know that there's like a 3-hour limit of how long they can be asleep, and there was nowhere to like Google those things. You kind of had to just know. And it was hard to get things to like champion and ultimate back then without like severely messing up. Like I can, the amount of times I've gotten Numamon is just like absolutely ridiculous. And we're about to get some damage here. Oh man, that's a lot. That's that big pepper breath. Okay, okay. It says weak attack here. We're currently losing. Let's see. We're gonna do weak attack here too. Yep, and you start to learn like the patterns and stuff. So he's gonna be at 1. Yep, there it is. And let's see. Do we get the W? Yeah, we do. Awesome. Haven't lost yet. Yo, we're gaming out here. We need to get 12 to 15 victories. And we're going for it's our first champion, Numamon, right here. Here we go. Let's go. Big damage. Yeah, man. It was always so hard, like, getting Numamon, because like there were certain lines that you're like, I have it this time. This time I did everything I needed. And back then we didn't have this Coliseum mode. You had to do a bunch of actual battles, and it was so hard to like actively get the right Digimon levels that you wanted. It was so hard back in the day. I should actually think about picking up one of those older devices and seeing if I can do a run on them. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Big damage. And then like there's also like the meter that you have, your DP meter you have to keep track of. We're at 100% win rate. Oh, that's training. All right, this is Vegemon here. Here we go. And then how many more do I have? I think we had to get into Raremon. Yeah, we gotta get to Raremon, so there's 3 more. So we gotta fight Scoomon, Nanimon, and then Raremon. Cool, that was an easy victory. We must have a type advantage against that one. All right, Scoomon right here. And we got Nanimon after this. Actually, I think we have like type advantages for almost all of these right now. Yeah, I could be a little bit wrong. No, we're both viruses. But we're just dump trucking them anyways, yo. The rookies were harder than these guys. Holy moly. All right. Nanimon right here. And then we have one more guy to beat, which is the Raremon. So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this series. You know, it's pretty simple. I like using like the one device, and then sometimes, you know, I'll weave in like a different device, like, you know, the Digimon 25th Color Evolution or like a Digimon X. Normally I like to use a couple different devices in this one, but this one's a kind of a long video, and I'm just going to do just this one for this time. Hopefully we can finish this off with a bang. 100% win rate, DarkTyrannomon, and then hopefully in the next video, we will have Digivolved into the Metal Tyrannomon, which is only one stage away from the almighty Machinedramon. And then once we get to Machinedramon, who knows? I might Jogress this thing into a Rust Tyrannomon. Might be kind of fun. So that's all I got for you guys today. Please think about letting me know if you guys like this series, you want to see more, and let me know what current Digivices you're working on and what you are excited to see come out a little bit later this year, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and other than that, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.